so excited that everyone's here joining us to celebrate this opening. My name is Nick Judd. I am the CenterWell Senior Primary Care Operations Leader here in Kentucky and Indiana. And we are so excited to be launching our third primary care center here in Louisville at this West Louisville location. And CenterWell has been launching senior-focused primary care centers across the nation in underserved communities. But I can't think of any better example of bringing that vision to life than what we're doing here in West Louisville. The West Louisville community and the Russell neighborhood deserve more and better healthcare options. They deserve CenterWell's commitment to helping seniors achieve healthier and happier lives. I'd like to also take this opportunity to thank the Louisville Urban League and what a great partner they have been in making this vision come to life. I'd like to now introduce our first speaker today, my friend and colleague, Dr. Misha Rhodes. She is our Chief Medical Officer for the Kentucky and Indiana market. Dr. Rhodes.
At CenterWell, a big part of our mission is removing barriers to care for seniors and allowing more of them to receive primary care in the communities where they live. This is particularly true in West Louisville. We want to make it easier and more convenient for seniors to see their doctor and work together to live their best lives. We know that seniors have different needs from other segments of the population, and our staff at CenterWell have a passion for senior care. We love showing patients the CenterWell difference, which includes a care team that works together to address all aspects of a patient's health, including their physical, mental, emotional, and social factors. CenterWell believes in investing in its communities and the power of bringing people together, and this center here in West Louisville is the epitome of this. This location, like all our locations, includes an on-site activity center that offers free health and fitness programs, games, and wellness activities. These are not only for CenterWell patients, but open to any seniors in the community. We know that loneliness is a significant concern among seniors, and our activity centers offer a safe and comfortable space to socialize and stay active in both body and spirit. Thank you. We are so glad that you've joined us here today as we celebrate a new era of serving seniors in the West Louisville. Thank you. So now I will introduce Lyndon Pryor, as well as Sadiqa Reynolds, current CEO of Louisville Urban League and former CEO of Louisville Urban League.
Thank you, Dr. Rhodes. This is a great day for our community, for the league, for Humana Force, CenterWell, and it is really a pleasure to greet you again. My name is Lyndon Pryor. I'm the interim president and CEO of the Louisville Urban League. Several months ago, Dr. Tamia Evans, who is leading this facility, joined me on the Louisville Urban League's podcast. And we had a wonderful conversation about all the great things that are going to go on here. And I described it at one point as CenterWell providing Oprah-level care. And she joked, and I said, no, I'm actually serious, because I can remember as a child watching an episode of Oprah and her talking about some new technology that was coming about in doctors' offices and having the opportunity to get scans when she goes and being able to meet for an extended period of time with her doctor and how revolutionary that was. And I can remember as a child thinking like, well, that's great for Oprah, who is a billionaire and has access to all the great things. But as somebody who had a father who was on disability, who struggled with vascular disease and other things, that wasn't our experience. That wasn't the type of care that I was used to seeing in real time. And when Dr. Evans was talking about what was going to be offered to seniors here, where there's a minimum 45-minute appointment time and not the standard 15 minutes that we typically see, that at every appointment they were going to have the opportunity to have imaging done right there in front of the patient. I described it as this is Oprah level care that we are providing to seniors seniors in Louisville's community, but most importantly, seniors here in the West End. And that is truly revolutionary because we don't see that very often. And so this is going to be a transformational project, and I am just so grateful to have been a part of it and to have the Louisville Urban League to be a part of this facility coming to fruition for what it is going to bring and what it's going to mean. I want to thank certainly the board of directors. There are several of our board members here from the Louisville Urban League, and for your support in helping us to get this project over the hump when Sadiq and others had the idea long ago about expanding on this complex and this facility. The board has been very supportive and very helpful from day one. To the Louisville Urban League staff, our leadership team, many of whom are here, and the work that they've done to be able to fill this facility and the work that they're going to continue to do to make sure that our seniors, not just those who participate with us in the Urban Senior Jobs Program, but all across our community, are taking advantage of and utilizing this complex. To our friends at Calhoun and Brown Engineering, who we've got a long-standing and great relationship with, who made sure that this project came through on time for us to get it open. Thank you all for your diligence and work and support over the time. And just to this community, really, who has stood beside us and who has stood behind this project here, but also the project behind you. We are coming up on 3 years in the Sports and Learning Center, and it has done remarkable things for this community, and that is large part to the support that we've received. And so thank you all for being here. Now, though, none of this is possible without an incredibly special person. Someone who obviously needs no introduction, but who is always deserving of one, and that is Miss Sadiqa Reynolds, who has had the vision for this complex, as well as for this annex facility, as well as the relationship with CenterWell to bring this to fruition. And so it is my honor and pleasure to bring up my friend, mentor, and predecessor, Miss Sadiqa Reynolds.
Hi, everybody. Lyndon's a little taller than me. See if I can. It's really a pleasure to be here. There are not many people who get to live to see the seeds they plant grow into trees. And it is amazing to me that less than a year ago, we broke ground on this facility right before I left the Louisville Urban League, and that we would be able to be here today with this facility already open and here for the big grand opening and ribbon cutting is quite remarkable. And I think Lyndon said it best. We could not have done it without the community. We could not have done it without all of your support. And there are so many people here who have supported us. Did you all miss all that? People are saying I didn't use the mic. There are so many people here who have supported us, and there are some names that I just want to make sure that I call out. First of all, I want to thank Lyndon Pryor because I am here today at his pleasure. I don't get to just show up for Urban League things and stand up and talk. I am not the president of the Louisville Urban League, and so thank you to the president of the Louisville Urban League for allowing me to be here. Thank you to Nick at this phenomenal, he helped us with this phenomenal agreement at CenterWell. Thank you so much to Nick Pfeiffer for the work that he's done. Thank you to Rhonda Hogan, who helped us to manage this deal. Thank you to all of the folks. Chad Hester, who is the regional person. There were so many people who were a part of this wonderful, wonderful opportunity, and I cannot thank them enough. I know there are a lot of elected officials here today. Certainly thank you to all of them, and Councilwoman Purvis, who is also here with us. Thank you to Val Jones for always being willing to lend her expertise to help us create what you see here today. Thank you, Val. There's so many people that I just want to say thank you to for making this happen. There are always shoulders we stand on. And I think it is important for me to say this today because I was at an event where the mayor spoke earlier this week, or maybe it was last week. Time flies when you're aging, which is nice to have this facility here. Celeste Lanier actually spearheaded the African American Heritage Center. And I'm taking a moment to acknowledge her and to acknowledge her work because I think it's important to say that sports complex is a big deal. I'm not sure it would be possible if there had been no Celeste Lanier, who had the vision to lead the building of the sports and learning of the African American Heritage Center. Celeste, if you could stand for a second and just let people recognize you. She said no. Okay, great. Thank you so much. But after I thought about Celeste, and it took a long time for her to get her props, 20 years later almost. But after I thought about Celeste, then the next person I thought about was Ben Richmond, my predecessor at the Urban League, who built that building, didn't have a mortgage on it. Black people owning that land. And then when I thought about Ben Richmond, the next person I thought about was Sam Watkins at LCCC, who built that building. He led that vision. Without them, there is no me. There is no Louisville Urban League Sports and Learning Complex. There is no Norton Healthcare Sports and Learning Center. And sometimes you have to pause to think about the shoulders that you stand on and who makes it possible for you to exist and to do the work and to push through, even especially in moments of persecution and valleys. That is when you take the time to reflect on who did this before me and what did they have to go through. So I am excited to call out the names of those who made a way for this to be possible and also for this to be possible. And what I love about what the Louisville Urban League has done, and Lyndon gives me a lot of credit, and I may have started many things, but he has had the tenacity to see them through. And the team that you see here from the Louisville Urban League has had the capability and the talent to see these things through. What I love about these projects is that we are serving the community that we sit in, that we are bringing to people the things that they need. We are not talking about gentrifying a community. We are talking about giving to the people who have needs what it is that they have requested, what it is that they need. And so when I walk through that building and I see these chairs that you sit in and then they magically relax for you and they turn into a bed, because I know I have a friend that I love so dearly who I am watching age, and I know it is hard to climb up and to maneuver. And so our seniors can just sit down, take a seat, and let the chair lean back and do the work for you because of CenterWell's vision. And because CenterWell was willing to partner with a civil rights organization and to come into this community and build on this beautiful space where this land was once contaminated. We are making people well in space that could have made them sick. Do not ever take for granted what we have built together. Many people say to me, Sadiqa, where are you? Where have you been? I have been dreaming of a better world. And at a time when it feels like we are so divided in our country, look around you. Look at the diversity in this group. Look at the people here. Look at what we look like. It took all of us to build this. It took all of us to change this 24 acres. Speaking of people working together, let me take a moment to shout out the CEO of Norton Healthcare, and I'll tell you why. He had the right of first refusal. Russ Cox could have said, "Oh, we don't need CenterWell. No, thank you. We don't want it. They're not Norton." And instead he said, this community needs everybody with hands on deck. We need every person in this city working. And CenterWell could have said, why in the world do we want to be next door to a building called the Norton Healthcare Sports and Learning Center? But they didn't. They chose to work with us because this is how you build. And so I know we have a million reasons to feel weighed down and heavy and to feel like we are divided. and to feel like, oh, we're getting beat up. But listen to me. It only feels like that because we are so close to victory. We are so close to creating what it is we have dreamed of. And this is an example of that. People coming together, black, white, rich, poor, living in this zip code and that zip code, saying yes to whatever it takes. And so I thank you, Louisville, so much. I thank you, CenterWell, so much. I thank you to these folks who may or may not have been engaged with this particular project, but they have been engaged in our community, in changing it, in making it better. And so I want to make sure that I don't leave off anyone, but I've already know that I did. The other person I should acknowledge is Kevin Dunlap, the executive director of Rebound, because he has been building in this community for so long. And if the Urban League and Rebound had not been affiliated, I don't know if we really could have made anyone take us seriously when it was time to clean this land and build this complex. And so I acknowledge also the work of my brother, Kevin Dunlap. Not my brother for real, I'm just, but my brother. Y'all got it? And I don't do this often, I'm reading notes. The talented, talented team at the Louisville Urban League. None of this would be possible without you. The board of the Louisville Urban League, the former board, the current board, the board of the Sports and Learning Complex. I stand here today as the president. Thank you so much. Thank you, CenterWell. Thank you. And thank you for your hires so far. We see you. We see you. We see that sister. We see Dr. Evans. We see what you are doing here, and you make us proud. Thank you to ASM for your work and for being here today. I see my friend Jim Beckett. Thank you all so much for everything. This is truly, I cannot explain to you. If you have never done something that you don't know if you'll live long enough. Only God decides that. And you get to see this. You get to see people come in. You get to see people get served. It turns out like you dreamed. Everybody doesn't have that experience. Thank you all for allowing me to have it. Thank you, Lyndon. Thank you all. Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
And Lyndon. We are delighted to welcome many of our public officials and their representatives today. We are grateful for their dedicated service to our city, state, and nation, and for their partnership with CenterWell and Humana. Before we get to our esteemed speakers, I would like to acknowledge Metro Councilwoman Donna Purvis, representing District 5. Josie Hammond, Field Representative for Leader Mitch McConnell. State Director, Brigadier General Rob Givens. And Field Representative Whitney Meadows, representing U.S. Senator Dr. Rand Paul. Thank you all for being here today. At this time, we'd like to welcome Congressman Morgan McGarvey. Congressman McGarvey is serving his first term with Kentucky's 3rd Congressional District in the U.S. House of Representatives. While he is new to Congress, he certainly isn't new to our community. The congressman served for a decade in the Kentucky State Senate, including 4 years as the minority leader of the Senate Democratic Caucus. Please welcome Congressman McGarvey.
Good afternoon. One programming note for the future: never have me speak after Sadiqa Reynolds ever again. We'll make sure I get that second term. Thank you guys so much. This is a great day. This is a great day for Louisville. It is a great day for West Louisville. Thank you so much to Nick, to Dr. Rhodes, to Carolyn Tandy, to the entire Humana CenterWell team for locating a facility right here in West Louisville. Thank you to Lyndon Pryor. Thank you to my friend and colleague, State Senate Minority Leader Gerald Neal, and to our Mayor, Craig Greenberg, who I don't think has taken a day off since he got in the job. Hit the ground running. They are doing a great job. And then, of course, thank you to Miss Sadiqa Reynolds. And one of the things I love about Sadiqa, when you heard her, she thanked I don't know which one of y'all didn't get thanked. She thanked everybody because she knows she stands on the shoulders of those who came before her. What I know is that Sadiqa Reynolds has been willing to put an entire community on her own shoulders to build these blocks for the future. And I watched it, Sadiqa. You said, if we build it, they will come. And here we are, right? Because look, healthcare is a basic human right. And we made great strides toward that in Kentucky. With the Affordable Care Act, 440,000 Kentuckians got health insurance for the first time. But access to health insurance is different than access to health care. And in 2023 in Louisville, Kentucky, your zip code still dictates your life expectancy. That is not an act of God. That is an act of policy. And it is an act of systemic disinvestment in particular communities. We're changing that. We're changing that with a new hospital in the West End. And we are changing it today right here with this facility and doing it smartly. Because CenterWell is focused not just on our seniors, they are focused on preventative care. This is something we know to be true. We've heard it since we were kids. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And the diseases that continue to plague West Louisville and shorten people's lives are preventable. And now, as we continue to make healthcare a basic right, and we give people access to that healthcare, this is literally changing lives. So this is an important day for Louisville. It is an important day in our history, and it is an important recognition that our best days are still in front of us. Thank you all.
Thank you, Congressman. Next, we are joined by State Senate Minority Floor Leader Gerald Neal. Senator Neal has served the people of District 33 since 1989, was the first African-American man elected to the Kentucky State Senate, and has been a champion for his district ever since. We are happy to welcome Senator Neal.
Hello. Man, you can't help but be excited out here, can you? I mean, look at that, even in this hot sun. You know, I want to say that everything really has been said here. I can't add anything to this. I mean, look, I think Sadiqa laid it out. She laid it out, the vision. She put her arms around everybody and gave context to why these things happen. She pointed out that her the individual that followed her has not only sustained what the forward motion that we have here, but it also portends well for the future because we are here today. And we're looking here today, and I want to officially welcome CenterWell to this piece of earth. Thank you, CenterWell. So I was particularly interested in pointing out, and it didn't cross my mind yesterday, but yesterday I believe it was, or was it Monday? There was an event that actually acknowledged Celeste Lanier. I got to bring that up because I was out of town and I wanted to be there. I sent a representative there, but I thought it was very important that you raised that, Celeste, because a lot of people do not know the work that people do that enables other things to happen. And that's what this is all about. Not only people coming together, but people come together and working hard and sustaining their efforts and making these outcomes that we're witnessing here today. So I congratulate CenterWell, but I got to congratulate Celeste Lanier. I can say it personally right here. I'm looking her right in her face. Thank you, Celeste. I worked with Celeste over the years. She is A1. I want to thank Celeste Lanier. I want to thank Sadiqa because Sadiqa has thought big, she's moved big, and she let no one back her into a corner. She makes things happen, and that's how things happen. You make them happen. even when you think they can't happen. Here is proof of it here. Here is proof of it here. In fact, that proof is all around. And I would say this, that portends well for all of us going into the future. Lastly, I want to thank the Urban League institutionally and the people that do that work, the people you rarely hear their names, the people that come every day, the people at the NAACP, the people in these healthcare facilities that every day face the challenges that other people face in terms of their challenges, but they come back every single day doing that work, inspiring others to do that work, uplifting people who are all around them that need that uplift. All in all, what that means is as we come together as a community, not just an individual, not just one institution, but when we all are intentional and we come together as a community, this is what we get. We get growth and development, we get capacity, and we get a health center, a preventive health center for our senior citizens. So thank you so very much, CenterWell. Thank you very much for being here, and keep up the good work.
Thank you so much, Senator Neal. We are now happy to welcome Mayor Craig Greenberg. Also in his first term, Mayor Greenberg was sworn in as Louisville's 51st mayor on January 2nd. Before leading the city, Mayor Greenberg was an attorney and served as CEO for Louisville-based 21C Museum Hotels, in addition to many other important roles in the community. Mayor, thank you for being with us and for your support.
Thank you so much, Nick, and thank you to everyone at CenterWell and Humana for what you have done here in the Russell neighborhood, for West Louisville, for all of Louisville, not just with this project, but with what CenterWell and Humana does for our city, whether it's contributing more to have more downtown ambassadors to keep our downtown safe and clean, and to keep other people healthy throughout our entire city. A giant thanks to CenterWell and Humana for everything you do. It is amazing what you've done today, but it's also, we're very thankful for what you all do for this city every day. And to Lyndon and Sadiqa, to you and all of your colleagues, current and past, at the Urban League, thank you all so much and congratulations. What you all have done, as you talked about, Sadiqa, taking a former brownfield and turning it into not just Oprah level care, Lyndon, but also an Oprah level track. There is no better track and field facility, not even in this city, in this state, in this country, than is right here. And thank you not just for building great real estate and great projects, but thank you for everything else you all do and the Urban League does every day with its programming to improve education, to fight for justice, to ensure that equity is not just something we talk about, but something that we think about and act on every day. And so thank you all so much. And so to me, the question is, today is a day about celebration and thanks, and you're hearing a lot of that. But now the question is, where do we go from here? You heard Sadiqa so eloquently talk about the shoulders upon who she stands and the projects that came before these amazing projects on this site. Now it's our time. It's our time to stand on the shoulders of these projects and these amazing Louisvillians who have accomplished great things to move our city forward. But it's not yet enough. We have to keep moving forward. If we are truly going to have a safer city, a stronger city, and a healthier city, we need so many more projects like this. We need that Norton Hospital to open and the Goodwill Opportunity Campus. I'm proud that our city government invested in the Family Health Center at the old Marine Hospital. These are just some of the beginning steps, because the health care that's provided to the citizens of West Louisville should be the same quality and the same accessibility for every citizen in Louisville, regardless of where you live. It should be equally as good here. And so we need more primary care doctors. We need more dentists. We need more specialists. And our administration stands ready to work with the Urban League, with every other group that's ready to make that happen, not just in the area of healthcare. But when it comes to affordable housing, you heard Sadiqa talk about Kevin Dunlap and the amazing work that's done with Rebound. Again, that is another area that amazing work has happened already, but it is not enough. We have to work on reversing decades of disinvestment, discrimination, and redlining that have made it so the housing in West Louisville, the healthcare in West Louisville, the access to food and groceries in West Louisville is not the same as other parts of our city. That is wrong, and it is time to stand on the shoulders of these giants, of these amazing projects, to work together in partnership to ensure that every neighborhood of West Louisville is safer, stronger, and healthier. And I look forward to working with every one of you all here today and elsewhere around our city to make that possible. So again, congratulations and thank you, and let's keep working together.
Thank you, Mayor Greenberg. Lastly, we would like to thank GLI for their continued support of CenterWell's mission here in Louisville. They have been at all of our center launches in Louisville and in southern Indiana. CenterWell has a lot of resources, but the one thing we didn't have was a big fancy pair of scissors to cut the ribbons, and GLI has been there for us every time. But in all seriousness, they've been a great partner. I would like to welcome Sarah DeVasher Wisdom to come and join us today. Thank you, Sarah.
What an amazing day this is. Humana and CenterWell are continuing to make life-changing impacts in the lives of so many, and today's investment in West Louisville is especially meaningful. We know there is a direct correlation between health equity, economic equity, and the overall competitiveness of our region. Our organization is focused on working to attract businesses and talent, and how much better can we do that when we have a more equitable community? That's why this is important. But this isn't the end. This is the first step. And so we have to continue working together to make more things like this happen. I applaud CenterWell and Humana, and I look forward to seeing what does come next. Thank you, Nick, for your leadership of CenterWell, and I look forward to continuing to work with CenterWell and Humana as we move the city forward.
I know everybody was hoping that at least one more speaker would come up, and so here I am. My name's Chad. I get the privilege of overseeing all of the growth and marketing for Kentucky and Indiana, and I also have the privilege of being able to conclude this fantastic event. I remember when we broke ground with Sadiqa and the Urban League. It was a rainy morning, and right when the press conference started, the sun just broke through. And I can't help but thinking about that and then thinking about today. It's mid-August in Kentucky, and it's 80 degrees and breezy. You can't help but think that the Lord is shining down on this effort. We just want to end and look around. I wish I could make eye contact with everyone here and say the reason we do this is because we're successful, not because only of the health care that we bring, which is fantastic, but it's because we link arms with community partners, business leaders, strategic thinkers to be able to meet the communities that we serve. And so every single person here is a business partner and a person in their community that we trust. We want to continue to earn your trust as we open the doors to an absolutely beautiful, senior-focused primary care clinic. And I can't help but also thank David Anderson with the Senior Job Program. We left the front row open, not for political leaders or not for business CEOs, but for the seniors who volunteer with the Senior Job Program with the Louisville Urban League, because this facility is for each of you. What we do is for each of you and your friends and your churches and your neighbors. So we are extremely glad to be able to be here. And with that, what we're going to do now is we're going to have some of our providers, Quisha, Ashley, who's our center administrator, Renee. If you guys could join us, and everyone who spoke, we're going to do the fancy ribbon cutting with the huge GLI scissors. And then we would ask for anyone who would like to. We're going to open our clinic. We have food and refreshments. And then we're going to give a tour so you can actually see what everything looks like. And so don't go anywhere if you don't have to cut out. We're going to do our quick photo op, and then we would love for you guys to stay and have a good time with us. So thank you again for everyone who attended.
Yeah!